If you have ever stepped into a mall in the Philippines, withdrawn cash from an ATM, or even just bought a condo in Metro Manila, chances are you have contributed to the wealth of the C family. But how? How is it possible that whatever you do in the Philippines, no matter who you are, benefits one family that holds supreme power, although behind closed doors? Well, that's because of this family's access to the very roots of the country and its system. Unlike many of Asia's billionaires who inherited vast fortunes, the C's built their empire from the ground up. But what makes them different isn't just their wealth, it's their grip on the Filipino economy. Shopping, banking, real estate. These industries don't just make the Sy family rich, they make them untouchable. Their businesses are so embedded into everyday life that it's almost impossible to avoid them. But how did they do it? How did a struggling immigrant from China turn a small shoe store into a financial empire worth $13 billion? In this video, let's find out. The C family reached where it is today because of Henry C. Sr., the family's patriarch. Unlike many billionaires who inherit generational wealth, Henry started with nothing. He was born in 1924 in Fujian, China, into a poor family struggling to make ends meet. Seeking better opportunities, his family migrated to the Philippines, but life in their new country was anything but easy. As a young boy, Henry worked alongside his father in a small store in Manila, selling basic goods to survive. Every day, he watched his father struggle to keep the store running, often barely making enough money to cover expenses. This early experience ingrained in him a strong work ethic and an understanding that success wouldn't come from working harder alone. It would come from working smarter. Even as a child, Henry observed how customers behaved. He noticed what products sold the most, what times people preferred to shop, and how pricing affected their choices. Unlike other children his age, who played in the streets, Henry spent his days learning the ins and outs of business, absorbing lessons that would later define his empire. When World War II broke out, Manila was devastated, and Henry's family lost nearly everything. With his father's business destroyed, Henry had to start over. While many would have given up, he saw this as an opportunity to rebuild on his own terms. In the early 1950s, with barely any capital, Henry opened a tiny shoe store in Manila. It was nothing extravagant, just a small space where he sold affordable yet durable shoes. But unlike other shoe store owners who simply bought and resold products, Henry understood the importance of branding, customer trust, and reinvestment. He made sure that every pair of shoes was high quality, priced competitively, and available to the growing middle-class Filipino population. His business philosophy was simple: sell what the people need at a price they can afford and always reinvest profits into growth. What started as a small shoe store quickly gained traction. Customers loved the quality of his products, and word spread. That single store eventually evolved into Shoe Mart, SM, which later became SM Department Store, and eventually transformed into SM Supermalls, the largest shopping mall chain in the Philippines. By the 1980s, the retail industry in the Philippines was undergoing a transformation. Traditional markets and small independent stores had long dominated commerce, with Filipinos accustomed to hopping between different locations to purchase groceries, clothing, and electronics. But Henry C. saw something else: an untapped opportunity to revolutionize the way people shop. Instead of scattered, standalone stores, he envisioned a single destination where everything was available under one roof. This was a bold and risky move at the time. The concept of large-scale shopping malls had not yet taken hold in the Philippines. Filipinos were accustomed to doing their shopping in palenques or wet markets and small neighborhood stores. The idea of air-conditioned malls filled with retail stores, entertainment centers, and dining establishments seemed extravagant. However, Henry believed that if given the convenience and experience of a mall, Filipinos wouldn't just shop, they would make an entire day out of it. The first SM Supermall was not merely a place to buy things, it was a lifestyle hub. Henry understood that consumer behavior was not just about necessity, it was about experience. He designed malls that weren't just retail spaces, but destinations where families could shop, dine, watch movies, run errands, and even attend medical appointments without leaving the premises. Henry's strategy was clear: create self-contained worlds. Instead of making malls just about shopping, he made them essential to daily life. Every SM mall housed a grocery store, a department store, banks, bookstores, fast food chains, restaurants, furniture shops, entertainment facilities, and even churches. The convenience was unparalleled. Shoppers no longer had to travel all over the city to get things done. The idea caught on like wildfire. Filipinos began embracing malls not just as shopping centers, but as places to socialize and spend time. Soon, Henry's company, SM Prime Holdings, launched one of the most aggressive expansion campaigns in Philippine history. Malls started appearing in every major city, each one bigger and more ambitious than the last. Before long, Henry's company had built some of the biggest malls in the world. SM Mall of Asia, for example, wasn't just a shopping complex, it became one of the most visited destinations in the country. SM Megamall grew into a multi-building retail hub spanning several floors of high-end and budget-friendly brands. SM North EDSA, the first-ever SM Mall, evolved into one of the largest shopping centers in the world. With over 80 malls in the Philippines and several more in China, the C family completely redefined the shopping culture of an entire nation. These malls became mini-cities, drawing millions of visitors every month and serving as economic centers for businesses, entertainment, and social gatherings. Interestingly, for the C family, these malls were not just real estate investments. They were cash printing machines. Every store inside an SM mall paid rent, and every business relied on the foot traffic generated by the mall's design. The revenue streams were endless, and billions of pesos flowed into the family's accounts year after year. But Henry had other plans. He didn't just want to control where Filipinos shop. He wanted to control how they managed their finances. In other words, Henry wanted not only the money Filipinos spent, but also the money they stored. This led to his expansion into banking, a sector that would further tighten the C family's grip on the Philippine economy. In the early 2000s, Henry acquired Banco de Oro, or BDO. At the time, it was a relatively small bank, nowhere near the financial giants that dominated the industry. But Henry saw something the others didn't. Instead of catering primarily to the wealthy and big businesses, he decided to target ordinary Filipinos. BDO's expansion strategy was brilliantly simple, yet highly effective. First, Henry made sure that BDO branches were placed inside SM malls, making it convenient for shoppers to bank while running errands. No need to travel across town to deposit money or take out a loan. Customers could shop and bank in the same location. Second, BDO aggressively expanded its loan services. Unlike traditional banks, which were selective about whom they lent money to, BDO made loans accessible to small businesses, overseas Filipino workers, and the middle class. This strategic decision allowed BDO to capture an enormous portion of the banking market that had been previously overlooked. Third, Henry ensured BDO's dominance by acquiring Equitable PCI Bank, one of the largest financial institutions in the country. This single move catapulted BDO to the top, making it the largest bank in the Philippines. Today, BDO operates over 1,600 branches nationwide and manages over $70 billion in assets. Through BDO, they handle payroll accounts, home loans, car financing, business loans, investment portfolios, and remittances from OFWs. Nearly every financial transaction in the Philippines, whether it's withdrawing salaries, applying for a mortgage, or transferring money, has the potential to pass through the C family's financial empire. By monopolizing both consumer spending and banking, Henry C. and his family achieved a level of economic dominance that no other business dynasty in the Philippines could match. But things don't stop even here. With retail and banking already making the Sy family one of the richest in Asia, there was one final move that would cement their financial empire. That was investing in real estate. This led to the aggressive expansion of SM Development Corporation, a real estate arm that focused on building condominiums, business districts, and commercial hubs around SM malls. For many Filipinos, living near an SM mall became a symbol of prestige and convenience. Residential properties near SM malls experienced massive value appreciation, making SMDC developments some of the most sought-after real estate investments in the country. The brilliance of SMDC's business model was its ability to capture every level of the real estate market. It developed luxury high-rises in Bonifacio Global City for wealthy investors, mid-range condos for professionals, and affordable housing projects for middle-class families. This strategy ensured that regardless of income level, there was an SMDC property Filipinos could aspire to own. By controlling shopping, banking, and real estate, the Sy family turned their empire into a self-sustaining economic ecosystem. From the moment a Filipino earns money, which is deposited in BDO, to where they spend it, which is SM malls, to where they live, which is SMDC properties, nearly every financial transaction in the country benefits the C family. Their influence has reached a point where it is nearly impossible for Filipinos to avoid interacting with their businesses. They have built an economic empire so expansive and deeply embedded into daily life that their wealth will continue growing for generations to come. However, despite their immense wealth, the C family remains incredibly private. Unlike other billionaires who flaunt their riches on social media, attend extravagant parties, or make headlines for their purchases, the Sy siblings prefer to stay in the shadows. They rarely give interviews, ensuring that their public presence is minimal. Unlike other wealthy heirs and business tycoons, they do not showcase their private jets, luxury estates, or global investments. Their names rarely appear in gossip columns or flashy society pages, and they make a conscious effort to avoid media attention and unnecessary controversy. However, just because they do not display their wealth does not mean they do not enjoy it. Behind closed doors, the C family lives a life of unimaginable luxury. They own multi-million-dollar mansions in the most exclusive neighborhoods, hidden from the public eye. Their real estate portfolio extends beyond the Philippines, with lavish properties in the United States, Europe, and other prime global locations. Their investments span across industries and continents, including stakes in international markets, luxury developments, and high-end resorts. While their day-to-day life remains largely out of public view, their fortune affords them access to anything they desire, be it the finest cuisine, the most luxurious travel experiences, or exclusive business opportunities that only the ultra-rich can access. This calculated secrecy has helped them maintain their empire without facing public scrutiny. Unlike other billionaires who attract controversy and backlash due to their ostentatious lifestyles, the C family's low-profile approach allows them to expand their businesses quietly. They have successfully avoided scandals that could jeopardize their empire, and their ability to remain under the radar has made them nearly untouchable. This strategy has served them well, keeping their wealth and power intact while allowing them to further tighten their grip on the Philippine economy. Here's a quick question. What happens if the C family is challenged? Do you feel they will create shockwaves in the Philippines' every industry and sector, suppressing anyone who even thinks of dethroning them?